Hello, good friends and family. Welcome back to day number 4 of our 10-day journey built around my latest book, which is titled Insights into Grace. Now, I'm really excited because we are almost halfway through our conversations. And if you happen to be new here, all we're doing is we are pulling out some excerpts from the book and build our conversations around them. Now, if you've missed any of the episodes, episode 1, 2, 3, I want to encourage you to go back, listen and watch them. Trust me, they will be a blessing to you. Now, today I want us to focus on something I am persuaded beyond a shadow of doubt that it is of great importance when it comes to our walk in God's grace. Now, that is found in the book of 2 Peter chapter number 1, verse number 2, where the writer says, "Grace and peace be multiplied in the knowledge of God and of our Lord Jesus Christ." Two very important words there, multiplied and knowledge. So here is the key. Grace has capacity to increase. So in other words, grace is not a one-off experience, but grace can be experienced continually. Now, when the writer says multiplied, the idea is that grace can be experienced continually in an ongoing way, not as a one-off gift from God. Now, that is very important. But the secret is in the next word, where the writer says, through the knowledge of God and of our Lord Jesus the Christ. Now, that is important because when the writer talks of knowledge, it is more than having information. It is more than having facts. But in this context, it is about a close and intimate relationship with God. Now, that is very, very, very key. So in other words, our experience of grace is knowledge dependent. To walk in grace continually, you and I then must make a conscious decision to invest in our relationship with God. Why am I saying so? Because God's grace is rooted in God's character. Experiencing God's grace is rooted in God's character. In other words, it is rooted in knowing God's nature, God's character, God's ways, God's principles, God's will. That is very important because you simply cannot know God and not experience grace. It is impossible. You simply cannot know God and not experience grace. So I want to pose a challenge to you today. And here's the challenge. It's twofold. Number one, I want you to make a conscious decision to invest in your knowledge of God. Getting to know His character, His nature, His principles, His ways. Number two, I want you to make a decision to study God's character, to meditate on God's character and begin to apply the knowledge of God's character in your day-to-day life. That is very key. Now, this was the secret of the likes of David. When you read Psalm 119, the entire chapter, you can tell that this is a man whose life was built around God's character and building a relationship with God. So brothers and sisters, what if we make a decision, an intentional decision to pursue intimacy with God? Because the closer you and I walk with God, the more we know God, that's the more we experience grace continuously, not as a one-off gift. So God bless you, good friends, and I trust that these teachings are of great help to you. Please do let us know if they are helping you via the comment section, and remember to share these videos with friends and family so that we can be a blessing to many, so that we can empower each other to fully walk in God's unmerited favor. And until we meet again tomorrow on day number 5, God bless. This is Pastor Dan here.